What's going on, guys, and welcome back to the channel. Today you join me for something that I think a lot of people have been waiting for, and something that is actually happening now, because I think we are getting closer to the end of my tenure with the Audi R8 V10 Plus. But yeah, guys, it's the Audi R8 V10 Plus review. It's something that we've been meaning to do for a long time. And it's something that's finally happening. So yeah, so you know, without further ado, I'll get straight into it. I've owned the Audi R8 V10 Plus now for the last, I'd say, last 9-10 months, and in this time I've been able to like really learn and understand the car. I'm usually quite slow when it comes to learning and understanding cars, but you know, I'm confident now that, you know, I know how to really work around this car. I really know what's good about it and what's not so good about it. So, you know, we'll get straight into it. So, it's a Audi R8 V10 Plus 610 PS car, so 602 brake horsepower, which is exactly the same as what you get in the Lamborghini Huracan, 610 PS as well. Comes from the same engine, derived from a 5.2 litre V10 engine with a 7-speed gearbox. Now, first of all, I think that's the first thing I've got to comment on, the gearbox, you know, because this thing does wonders. So dual clutch transmission gearbox, and obviously what that means is that the gear changes are obviously lightning fast, and I mean that not only because I've read about it, but just because I've experienced it. This thing is insane. Now, I'm sure there's going to be people who will tell you maybe the PDK on the 911 is better. Maybe so, who knows. I'm not too sure, because I haven't had enough driving time with a 911. However, what I can confirm is that the gear shifts on the Audi R8 V10 Plus are lightning quick, and coupled with the Quicksilver exhaust that I've got on mine, the feedback is just honestly insane. That is something I could definitely say about this car. I just love the way it shifts, the noises that it makes, you know, during the gear shifts. This car will do up to 205 miles per hour, which I think is insane in itself. If you go for the non V10 Plus, so just the normal R8 V10, I think that car will do about 198 miles per hour. So obviously there's been some sort of questioning as to whether it qualifies to be a supercar, the V10, but I am pretty confident that the V10 Plus qualifies to be a supercar, just because it's got that 205 miles per hour limit, you know, combined with the V10, combined with the 2 seats and the layout, the boot in the front. You know, how can you not call it a supercar? Is the AMG GTR a supercar? I'm not sure. Some people would argue yes, some people would argue no. I feel like a supercar is just what you want it to be. However, that car also packs a lot of punch. But then obviously boots in the back, engines in the front. I don't know. Does it qualify for supercar territory? I guess you guys will need to let me know. But yeah, that's the Audi R8 V10 Plus on paper and overall as a car. Now, let's get into the drive of this thing. So, obviously with the 7-speed gearbox and the 610 brake horsepower, it translates to a lot of fun. What do I think about the mag ride? Look, I think it's definitely been upsold compared to how it really feels. Like, for me, it feels real bumpy. Like right now, I'm going over like some very light cracks on the road. Very, very, very light cracks on the road. And you'll be able to see this in the B-roll. So not so bad. The mag ride feels nice now. It's kind of like just handling it and just going over, and yeah, it's taking us through the motions. It's all right, it's not bad. But any bumpier, and this car starts to feel like a shit show. Muddy roads, or yeah, where there's just a bit more up and down, a bit more rockiness. In my personal opinion anyway, I feel like the R8 V10 Plus suffers on my watch anyway. Some people may want to argue that, but that's just my opinion. So I've seen some people changing out the mag ride for some different suspension, you know, that's all up to you. I personally wouldn't, just for like warranty purposes and just keeping things simple really. I don't think it's bad enough to change. I think you acknowledge that you're getting into a car like this, you know, supercar, R8 V10 Plus, and that's just what it's gonna do. But yeah, enough on that subject anyway. Aside from the drive, you know, we talk about the looks, the speciality of it. And honestly, I think the R8 V10 Plus has to be one of the sexiest supercars for the money. You know, like, can you really get better? You know, it drives like this. It looks crazy. And this car comes in the camouflage matte green color, which is £8,000 option from the factory. So that's something you have to acknowledge. It comes into the specification of my car, which automatically just makes it look better and automatically is more desirable on the market. It just looks nicer, man. Like, I'm driving around in a matte paint car, like matte satin paint, whatever you want to call it really. But it's not a wrap. This is how it comes, and that's good. That's good. You guys could enjoy this noise. No feedback there, no snap, crackle and pop. I'm not sure why really. Bit of a weird one. That is something to note. If you do get this car, please list your Pirelli P0s on eBay immediately and go and buy some Michelin Pilot Sport 4Ss. I've sat in an R8 V10 Plus with them, and I've sat in a V10 Plus without them, and I can confirm it's night and day difference. That is something that I've definitely noticed on this car. It gets slippery with the P0s, especially when the tread gets down to about 4 mil, 3 mil, starts to become a bit wobbly. But those Pilot Sport 4Ss, obviously confirmed by Joe Achilles as well. Yeah, man, serious night and day difference. So guys, no endorsements here. Defo check out Michelin and get some of their tires on this car, man. They deserve it. For real. And you do too. But yeah, I mean, moving on to the interior, I feel like the interior can be a little boring at times. You know, like, I've recently bought the SVR, as you guys know. If you look at the interior of this car compared to the SVR, I feel like this is just like real boring. And even if you look at a Lamborghini Huracan, it should be as basic as this car, but it's not, because there's just certain things that just make it nicer. Like, You know, you look at things like the switches, you look at the steering wheel, you look at the way you control the driving modes with the little tab, you look at the way you start the engine with that button. Everything just feels more dramatic. Everything feels like they've just paid attention to it more. Over here, I'm sitting in a full black leather interior, which I did appreciate on day one, I'll be honest with you. It's still got bucket seats. I think the bucket seats look amazing. Recaro bucket seats. You can see the inserts in there. You've got a Bang & Olufsen sound system, which looks amazing. You've got the perforated leather, which looks amazing and is in excellent condition, almost like from day one. We've got an extended leather dash, which looks lovely as well. But there's just certain things I just don't gel with. Like, for example, the paddle shifters. Like, bro, like, how has the SVR got nice, chunky, you know, aluminium paddle shifters? The Huracan's got some nice paddle shifters as well. And then Audi have left us with these stupid black paddle shifters that feel like I'm sitting in an Audi A5, not an Audi R8. Now, for me, that's not on. I wish that's something that could be upgraded. And then also the one-zone climate control, man. Audi, like, for real, like, one-zone climate control. The amount of times I'm in this car and my passengers may be saying, I'm cold, but I'm hot. Who wins? It's like you have to find some sort of like healthy balance. And for me, that's not what I expect in 150 grand brand new supercar. That don't really sit right with me. However, on the positive side, things like these touch lights do add to the show. And then also, I've had Apple CarPlay installed manually. If you do want to know where I got that installed, either check out my previous videos, or if you don't follow me on Instagram, please do follow me on Instagram, D10yam. Drop me a DM and I'll provide you with the details to get that done. But yeah, man, honestly, the interior's a bit Marmite. You either love it or you hate it. And for me, I'm definitely in the middle. I feel like there could be a lot of improvement with the interior, but look, I'm not complaining too much. You know, I guess that's just supercars for you. Maybe that's the excuse I'm making. On the exterior side, I love the fact that the engine is in the back. Like, it's like an art show. Every single time someone looks at my car or wants to check out the car and they're walking behind it, they just see those lights, the courtesy lights on the left and the right of the engine bay. And man, it just makes the R8 V10 Plus look like a work of art, especially with that massive carbon fiber wing. However, I realized it was the car to go for. I realized it was the car to, I realized it was definitely the better one out of the two. So I went for the V10 Plus over the V10. And because the V10 has 533 brake horsepower, this car has 610 brake horsepower. It's like, how could you really go wrong on something like this? So here I am in the Audi R8 V10 Plus. Lastly, I want to talk about values. So I bought this car for £80,500. Now, this car is currently worth around the £92,000 to £96,000 mark. It's about whether someone wants to pay more for the matte paint on it. It depends on the time of the year. So, you know, if we're getting to like that time of the year where it's, you know, spring, summer, I reckon this car would probably go for more, because I mean, come on, who wouldn't want to be driving a V10 Plus in 25 degrees weather, blasting through some A roads, you know? And that's another thing that, you know, I do love about this car, and I love about Audis as well. Audis tend to hold value, but this car has held value like never before. Like, I can't believe I'm making a flip on this car. When I bought this car initially, I was kind of sitting there saying, you know what, I'm ready to take that up to 10 grand loss on this car, and here I am making at least a 10 grand gain, and that to me is just a blessing, man. I love that. So I can expect the values to hold in future as well. If you buy one for around the 90 grand mark, I expect that you will get your money back in future, just because Audi have confirmed from 2023 they're going to stop producing the Audi R8 V10 Plus. So therefore the units that are there will become rarer and rarer. And face it, I think compared to the facelift Audi V10 Performance, this is the one you want to go for. And the reason why you want to go for this one is because the V10 Performance has got the soft limiter in it, and apparently that can't be changed. And another thing about it is that when you're driving and you're below a certain rev limit, what it does is it actually closes the valves. There's actually no exhaust button on the V10 Performance. There's only 2 satellites, or 3 satellites, yeah, 3 satellites I think, as opposed to the 4 satellites that you've got here. But you can literally just choose over here, I want my exhaust on or off. So right now I can have it on, or I can have it off. So you can put it into neutral. You can't do that on the new V10 Performance. You can't do it. Let me give you a bit more noise. Oh. Honestly guys, tell me why you would want a V10 Performance after hearing that. You can't get this kind of noise on the V10 Performance unless you do extensive work to the car to get the OPF taken out, the soft limiter removed. You're talking about 10 grand's worth of work there. This is the one to go for. This is where everything was as good as it can be before EU emission laws started changing, you know, and before they gave the Huracan the blessing, you know, to have to take on all the higher emissions, you know, by leaving the OPF out of the Huracan. That is where things were good, you know. So I think this car is definitely one to go for from a value perspective and from a performance perspective as well. This is what you want. But yeah, guys, I want to wrap up this video here. If you've definitely liked this video, please definitely smash that like button. And if you haven't subscribed to my YouTube channel, please definitely subscribe. Would love to see you guys subscribe to the channel. And let me know what you guys want to see next, whether that be a POV drive, which I have done on this car by the way. And if you don't follow me on Instagram, please do follow me on Instagram. It's D10Yam. And if you are looking for your next car, please do get in touch with me on my business page, The Vehicle Scout, and let's see what we can sort out for you.
Cause I love you for infinity. I love you for infinity. Well, darling, my soul, you know it aches for yours. And you've been feeling this